people to orbit. It's been a long time.
Long road.
18 years.
Yeah.
Kid could be in college by now. Well, the thing that concerns me most right now is that unless we improve our rate of innovation dramatically, then there is no chance of a base on the moon or a city on Mars. Yeah, this is my biggest concern. Crew Dragon was, we've already taken it to the space station and back. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people aren't aware of that. Mm-hmm. We just had basically a dummy, So, and then since then we've done massive amount of testing, pushing all the corner cases, and just a truly ridiculous amount of testing. It's like definitely hat us off to the Dragon engineers and supporting team at NASA for going through a truly staggering number of tests. Now that said, Dragon really is just a low Earth orbit transport vehicle. Mm-hmm. It's really it's capable of taking a few people at what is still a very high cost to Earth orbit. Technically we could send people around the moon on Dragon, but I'm not sure we'd want to. It's too small. Mm-hmm. So it's good to get this done, but I think we need to be very careful of getting stuck in a local maximum. Mm-hmm. And the space shuttle was something that was really stuck in a local maximum for a long time. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to be that situation. Frankly, why does Soyuz still fly? Korolev is probably turning in his grave right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you told Korolev and the other guys that we'd still be flying Soyuz in 2020, they'd be like, that's crazy. Yet we are. So we don't want to be in that situation. It's a solid vehicle. It's just like it's time to move on. There's really just one thing that matters. That is a fully and rapidly reusable rocket. That's the one thing that matters. And it needs to be reasonably big, or your payload to non-payload ratio will be kind of whacked. Won't be good. So, just like you wouldn't want a super tanker growing, for container ships, you have a container ship with thousands of containers. You don't, have like a bunch of tiny ships with little outboards on them cruising across the Pacific. That would be silly. So you have big ships when you want to go long distances with serious cargo. So we need a fairly big, but definitely rapidly and completely reusable rocket. This is the fundamental thing. Without that, we're going nowhere. I think Falcon 9 and Dragon have, they're asymptoting, their technology architecture is asymptoting, meaning it really would not make sense to have a Block 6 Falcon 9, from where we are right now. It just doesn't make sense. That's why we have a big focus in terms of new technology development on Starship. For Falcon and Dragon are kind of like operational vehicles at this point. So they're good products. They're operational, but there's not really. We need a whole new architecture, and that's what Starship is about. Mm-hmm. And Starship needs to be fully and completely reusable, and rapidly so. It's being designed for about to be relaunched an hour after landing, with zero nominal work. You could have scheduled maintenance, or you could have something like a spork issue, just like commercial aircraft. But you're expected. The only thing you expect to change on a regular basis is propellant, mm-hmm. And it's got to be fast. So now for the ship, you've got to wait. Unless you're launching due east from the equator, you've got to figure out some way to get the ship orbital ground track to pass over the landing site. Otherwise, you're too far away. So the ship it might take 3 orbits, 4 orbits maybe to get back over the launch site. But I think we want to aim for a capability of 3 flights a day for the ship.
Wow.
Most of which is taken up with getting the orbital ground track to come over the launch site. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then an hour for everything else.